great big mess of games we had to deal with towards the end of 2008. And while most of us are still trying to catch up on all the good stuff we missed, a traditionally quiet start to January is about to give way to another blockbuster assault, with the likes of Res Evil 5, Killzone 2 and Street Fighter 4 all lurking on the horizon. But as far as Warner Bros. Is concerned, Fear 2 Project Origin, the long-awaited sequel to Monolith's paranormal horror shooter, can lay claim to one accolade.
It's not only Warner's first big release of the year, but it's the industry's as well.
Fighting talk if ever we heard it, but the publisher reckons it has good reason to be confident about Fear 2's prospects. And that's down to the success of the unsettling original.
Or the evil that you don't know.
Fear First Encounter Assault Recon first released on PC in October 2005. It's impressed with its blend of frenzied FPS action, creative gameplay and technical prowess, especially its clever slow-mo, all wrapped up in a blood-stained cloak of terror inspired by Asian horror films like The Ring. We gave it 9 out of 10, stating, ultimately, this isn't a game of specific set pieces, it's a game about making your own. A year later, the game finally arrived on 360 and PS3, courtesy of Day One Studios, and had lost none of its visceral impact over the previous 12 months. It was another 9 out of 10 from us, calling it the best next-gen console FPS so far. It wasn't perfect. Complaints were levelled at the bland environments and weak storytelling. But the fact that it was even mentioned by some in the same breath as Half-Life 2 was testament to Monolith's considerable achievement. Since the initial acclaim, we've had 2 decent PC expansions, Extraction Point and Perseus Mandate, which were thrown together as Fear files on 360. But by the end of 2007, as Kristen cautioned in his review, there are only so many times developers can pull the same tricks off and expect to keep people's attention. Quite so. Which brings us neatly onto Fear 2. While console ports and expansions were farmed out to other studios, Monolith knocked out the grisly Condemned series for Sega. But the true sequel to Fear has been a long time in the works, a labour of dark love now just a couple of weeks away from release. But the FPS genre is no longer today what it was when Fear emerged. Wherever your tastes and loyalties lie, the likes of Halo 3, BioShock and Call of Duty 4 have raised the bar again and again. And Fear's big idea, slow-mo action, has become an off-the-peg feature rolled out all over the place from Stranglehold to Time Shift. First-person shooters have evolved, has Fear. So, just ahead of the full review, we thought we'd bring you a look inside the disturbing innards of the finished article. Your adventure begins half an hour before the cataclysmic climax of the original. Where Pointman led the charge in Fear 1, Fear 2's protagonist is Michael Beckett, a Delta Force operative tasked with handling the aftermath of the disastrous paranormal explosion at the end of the original game, caused by the haunting, psychic, and just all-round pissed-off Alma. Yes, she's back. But acknowledging the crazy little girl act has run its course, Alma returns older and seething with even greater psychic rage. You know, the kind that melts flesh. The frame of reference has also been widened. While Asian horror flicks remain the core inspiration, Monolith has cited the over-the-top, up-the-walls and everywhere else gore of the Saw movies as another touchstone. Did we mention gore?
You hear? She's crying.
Fear's time control gameplay may no longer hold the novelty it once did, but it returns as a fundamental weapon in your arsenal, and one that's certain to save your arse when death looms. So far, so Fear. But there is of course one major new feature you've probably heard about that changes the dynamic of the game and temporarily tips the odds back in your favour. Let's take a walk in the EPA suit. The criticism of dull environments looks to have been digested by the team, with better detail and imagination evident in the design process, just as you'd expect. The storyline, however, relies heavily on the collection of intel to advance the narrative, and that might not be to the taste of some who favour a more visual, cinematic style of storytelling.
Damn it, they're swarming the area! I have to move, I can't stay here! Keep heading for the rendezvous, we'll link up there!
But the biggest, if you'll forgive us, fear of all is whether the experience has evolved sufficiently to deliver another standout, unforgettable game. Besides, with the stunning Killzone 2 just around the corner, more of the same was never going to do.
Competition is competition. Competition is a good thing, and at the end of the day, that just means that your level of quality thresholds have to be there. Simple as that.
Fear 2 Project Origin is due out appropriately enough on Friday the 13th of February. We'll give you the full Eurogamer verdict soon. Ready or not, Alma's coming for you.
You have a date with Destiny, Sergeant Beckett. Let's not keep her waiting.